What is up, Beauty Tribe? It's your girl Naja here, and I am back with another video. So this video is just gonna be a story time, and it's like a story time that I had tried to film in the past, but I don't know what happened, and I just ended up not uploading it. And people have asked me about this story time, and like I don't know, I just don't think it's that eventful or exciting. But if you clicked on this video, obviously you want to know. And it's just basically the first time that I ever smoked weed, and it was really so-so, sis. Like, it really wasn't even all that grand. If you guys want to hear it, that's what I'm here for. So I'm gonna tell you guys the story. So if you guys like my story times, please give this video a big thumbs up, or if you just like me in general, give this video a big thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. What else? Make sure that you're subscribed every time you come to my channel, because YouTube be on that fuckery. And make sure that the notification bell is hit, okay? And I'm just gonna get right on into this story because it's probably not gonna be that long, but hey. So first starters, I'm just gonna start off with the time where I first tried or attempted to smoke, and I was around like 14, and now I'm 23, so damn near 10 years ago I tried to smoke weed for the first time. And I was going to school, and I lived in a neighborhood with all these kids, and we were like super close-knit, super cool. And there was a group of kids that would smoke weed all the time, and I knew about weed, but I just like wasn't interested. And to be honest, at this time in my life, I thought like the sun arose and went down inside my ass, dude. Like, I thought I was like some cool ass hipster bitch. Like, I just thought that I was so like snowflake special, little like cringy as fuck. Like, so I was just like, wow, weed is so mainstream. I've watched Skins. Like, I know that there's more hardcore drugs than weed. I'm not gonna do blah blah. Like, I really thought like if you would have met me when I was 14, you probably wouldn't have liked me, and you probably wouldn't have wanted to be my friend, because I wouldn't have wanted to be my friend. 14-year-old Naja. Like, I was super sarcastic, angry at the world, a bitter bitch, basically. Just uppity ass little bitch is what Naja was when she was 14. And because of that, I didn't really have any friends. Like, I would make friends at school, but usually those friends I had from middle school, because I was 14 my freshman year. So usually it was just friends from middle school that I was cool with in high school. But like in my neighborhood, I didn't have any friends yet. It was just really just me. Like, I would sit by myself on the bus, I would walk home by myself, and I was okay with that for the most part. Like, I would do summer vacations by myself. Like, that's just how I was. So one day, some of the guys were like trying to talk to me and like be friendly with me, and like, you know, after a while, like, I kind of loosened up to be like nice and stuff like that. And then, you know, some girls that used to live there or whatever that I've had story times about, but like, I'm trying to like be better. Like, I don't know, okay, this is like a brief little synopsis, and I'm probably gonna say this in another video as well, but like, I don't know, I just feel like I've outgrown telling type of stories about people from my past, only because I feel like I got all of the messages out that I could to help people, if that makes any sense. So like, even if I do have story times with some people in my past, I'm not gonna like name them by nickname or anything like that, because I just feel like the whole situation is dead and there's really no point in making those connections. But just know there were some girls in the neighborhood, there's story times about them, and they lived there as well, and they were really nice to me. And by them being nice to me and seeing a different side of me that everybody else was used to seeing, it kind of let more people open to like talk to me and stuff, because they saw like, this is just a little sourpuss ass bitch, but she's lonely as hell type shit, right? So one day I was walking up to the bus stop, and like in our neighborhood there was like a big sign of like the neighborhood's name, and there were some kids behind the sign, and they were all the guys and one of the girls that I was talking about earlier. And you know, they were smoking weed. So I came up to them and they were like,
"Here, do you want to hit it? Have you smoked weed before?"
My ass, again, trying to be little cool Naja, I was like, oh yeah, I've definitely smoked weed before. So, you know, I get it and I hit it, but I did not inhale it. And I gave it back to him, and my guy friend was like,
"Oh, you gotta like hit it. Like, you didn't really hit it for real."
Yeah, I did. Like, what are you talking about? I do this, I'm a pro.
You need to like hit it.
Tried it again, still didn't work, and it was like a J probably like this big, and they were like,
"Oh my god, you're wasting it, you're wasting it."
They just took it from me, and they were smoking, and I didn't really care. And I went and hung out with the other girl that did not smoke at the time, while her homegirl was over there smoking. And I went on the bus, and that was that. Like, I didn't feel anything, I was not high whatsoever. Like, but that was the first time I actually attempted to smoke. And then I did not actually smoke smoke and get high until I was 15. So literally that little experience did not make me want to immediately be like, oh my God, I need to try this. I need to blah, 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 blah. Like, I just really didn't care. But then, so like, it was literally like a whole year span before I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna try this again. And the reason why I wanted to try it again was because I had started talking to this girl, and it was like, I don't know, like she went to middle school with me, but she was completely different in middle school than she was in high school. Like in middle school, she was like Billy Badass type bitch, but then in high school, she like chilled out and she was really cool. And I started talking to her, and I had a whole different friend group other than the friends in my neighborhood, and I hung out with her and those friends. So her older brother actually sold weed and shit, so that's how she was smoking, and she would just buy stuff from her brother. And even then I was still kind of like, it's whatever with the weed. Like she would even smoke around me, and I would just be like, you know, it's whatever. And then finally one day she was like, what is going on with my camera, guys? I'm about to have a fucking bitch fit. I don't even know if any of that just recorded, but I'ma calm down. If none of what I just did recorded, basically I had a friend, her brother sold weed, and I knew if I was gonna smoke with anybody for the first time, it was gonna be her, only because I felt more comfortable smoking with her than smoking with a bunch of boys, because the boys were already irritated with me, and you get what I'm saying? Like they just thought that I was wasting all the shit, and I don't know. So one day she asked me, she was like, hey,
like, do you want to? Because if you want to, like, you know, my mom doesn't get home until this amount of time. And
usually her routine is that she would smoke, and then like right when she got off of school, and then go back to the house, and then her mom would come home in maybe like 3 to 4 hours, and within that time she would like eat food, watch TV, all that stuff. And like she had like the image to her mom like she was like, you know, the little princess basically of her mom's house. And like whenever her mom would come in and smell weed, she would just assume that it was her older brother. So like she could, in that 4-hour span, you know, she could eat her food, she could take a nap, and like nobody would think anything. Like sure, she would never smoke in her house, but you get what I'm saying? Sometimes she would smoke on the porch, or like we would go to a playground and smoke, stuff like that. I was like, okay, you know, I'll try it. At least it's with you, and I'll feel safe, you know, and if I freak out, at least you won't make me feel too shitty, because y'all, if you like, she was good for clowning or whatever, so I was like, she won't make me feel as shitty as the guys at least. So, you know, my mom and her mom were cordial, and my mom was okay with me hanging out with her at her house after school and stuff. Like sometimes her mom would drop me off back home at my mom's house, or sometimes on my mom's way back from work, she would pick me up from her house. So this day we rode on the bus together and we went to her house, and it was like it wasn't even like one of those things where like you could sneak either, because we lived close to each other, but not that close. Like it would have been a long walk. Like my mom has made both me and my brother walk to school before, and she lived right by the school, and it's about a good hour walk. Okay, so yeah, no. But you know, we rode the bus together and we go to her house, and she gets the weed or whatever, and she starts to roll up. Mind you guys, I don't even think I learned how to roll up until like I started like actually buying weed for myself. Like I did not know how to roll up at all. I literally had to self-teach myself how to do everything. But she rolled up the J for me, and we both like set out, because she was
like, look, we're not gonna do it on the patio, we're gonna do it in the park.
And she lived in a gated community, but right next to the community was like a housing neighborhood, like with homes and stuff, and that community had a park right at the front of it. So we go to the park, and like it's not dark, but it's like the sun is going down, and you know, that's when the crazies come out. So we're walking to this park. Mind you guys, it's a well-off neighborhood. Like, don't get me wrong, it's like suburban and shit, like well-off neighborhood. So I'm not trying to be like, you know, we could have got mugged or something, but you know, the crazies be out. We go to the park or whatever, and you know, we sit on the little jungle gym thing, and you know, she starts lighting it up. And as she lit it up, some random dude, I don't know if he was homeless or if he was on drugs, I don't know, but all I know is this random dude popped out of nowhere. He was like disheveled and shit, and he just like,
what are y'all doing?
Like as if it was second nature. My friend was like,
mind your business, go somewhere, mind your business.
sis, is this normal? Like, do you see him a lot?
You see a lot of people around here that are doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing.
And sure enough, bruh, like put himself through like a gate and like got into a different neighborhood, and like was doing real sketchy shit. So you know, at that point I was just a little bit paranoid because I was like, I'm already doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. Like, we don't know this like I don't know this neighborhood, and the times that I have been to that neighborhood to see other friends, I've always seen cops right at the playground. And I told her that. I was like, aren't you scared that like cops are gonna show up or something?
Look, I know I always come over here, we'll be fine, and if you saw where that dude just slipped through that gate, if some cops do come, we just gonna slip through that gate.
Really, bitch? Like, at this time in my life, I was not on no type of shit like I was in my later teens, where I was like ride or die and I was doing whatever the fuck I had to do. Like, I wasn't like that yet. Like, I was still very like, okay, I want to be experimentative as a teenager, but at the same time I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble, I don't want to get cased up. So, you know, when she said that, I'm not gonna sit here and lie as if I wasn't a little chicken. I was like, oh shit, like, let's just hope that no cop shows up. She tries to light it up again, and another person comes up and they're like,
That's my spot.
what? These people are grown, mind you. These people are grown. So that's my spot.
Okay, we'll leave.
And so we got up from the jungle gym and we went and got to sit on this curb, like right by the parking lot, which I kind of preferred because where the jungle gym was, our back was facing the road, so we couldn't see if somebody popped up, but at least like on the curb, we could see if a car is pulling up, right? So the dude who was like, that's my spot, he went and he sat up in there and he started smoking something. I don't fucking know. I really wasn't investigating, but he was smoking something. And I'm like, sir, what are you doing? We started smoking or whatever, and like the same thing happened that happened the first time with my other guy friends. Like, I was hitting it incorrectly and she showed me like how to smoke properly, and like I was smoking and like I'm like, I just don't feel anything. And we had smoked like the whole blunt, like pretty much like a roach, and I did not feel anything. And she was just like, you
Still don't feel nothing? Because I'm pretty high.
nah, I don't feel anything, dude.
It's just like, hey, you know, sometimes people don't feel anything the first time they smoke.
Well, this isn't the first time I've smoked. Like, I've tried to before. Talking about that first instance.
Well, maybe you're just one of those people that like THC doesn't do anything to you.
And I was like, damn, there are really people like that. Mind you guys, I'm still not high. I'm having like a full blown out conversation. Like, I'm sober. And I'm having a full blown out conversation with her, and she was just explaining to me how there are some people who just don't react to THC in that way. And I was just like, damn, I might just be one of them. You know, it is what it is.
Alright, well, fuck it. Let's go home. I'm hungry. I'll make you something to eat or whatever.
I'm like, cool. As soon as I stood up, I was like, yo. I just stood up and I stood there, and she's still walking, and then she notices I'm not following her, and she looks behind and sees me, and she's just like,
do you feel it?
yeah. Like, and it's weird because it happened so long ago, I don't even remember what the sensation felt like. Like, I really don't. And like, even now, like, I feel it's kind of difficult to describe what being high feels like. Like, I don't know, but back then I was feeling some type of way. I was really feeling myself, and like, you know, she started playing Up by Wiz Khalifa, right? She started, because she was real heavy on Wiz Khalifa. Like, we used to listen to Wiz Khalifa all the time in high school. We used to listen to Wiz Khalifa, Chief Keef, all types of shit in high school. Like, that was like our high school little era or whatever. Like Kid Cudi, Wiz Khalifa, all that stuff, Man on the Moon 2 type shit. So, you know, we're listening, and I just remember walking and like hearing that beat and just feeling like I was an astronaut. Don't get it twisted. I wasn't tripping like, oh my god, I'm an astronaut. Like, no, I wasn't tripping like that. I just felt like I was walking very light. Like, I just felt like I was just feeling the music. I started singing the song, bitch. Like, we're walking home and I'm just singing. My friend is laughing, like, but I'm pretty sure people on the outside were like, what the fuck is wrong with these fucking kids? Like, what are they doing? So like, we're walking back to her house, I'm singing, you know, I sit on the couch, I just remember feeling really good. Like, I didn't feel scared or paranoid or anything like that. I just remember feeling very happy and very relaxed. We ended up eating some basic shit, probably like some Tostito rolls or some shit, and I took a nap. And when I woke up, my mom was already there to pick me up, and her mom had came home from work. So I just remember getting woken up by my friend being like,
hey, your mom is here, it's time for you to go.
wait a minute, I'm not high no more. I was like, oh my god, I could function, bitch. Like, I'm not high anymore. Okay, wait, I slept for how long? My mom is here already? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, so my mom picked me up. She asked me what we did. I was like, we just watched movies. We watched Friday for like the 50th time. That's what we did. And yeah, ever since then, you know, like, I was just down to smoke. Like, it didn't happen like it was when I was 14 and took that year gap. Like at that point in my life, I was like, okay, I'm down. Whenever it's there, I'm there, because like that was amazing. Like, so every day after school, I would smoke weed, and like every time me and that girl hung out, we would smoke. But unlike my other friends, me and that girl, the only thing we did was drink and smoke. Like, she was very strict about that type of stuff. Like, she was like, look, that other stuff ain't good for you. Shit, alcohol really ain't all that good for you, but like weed ain't gonna do you no wrong type shit. But obviously, you guys know, you see my story times with my dumb young self. You guys know I was going ham in my younger days with the drugs, but that's the past. So yeah, that is my first time smoking story. I told you guys it is not that interesting, but you guys really wanted to hear it because I told you guys a story about when I smoked recently and how it was horrible. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below what happened to you guys when you first smoked weed for the first time, and I will see you guys later. Bye.